Hello and welcome to the Streamline and Shine podcast. My name is Steff Bolton and I am 1/3 of Bolton Virtual Solutions, a team made up of me, Mum, and my two daughters, Sam and Amy. Our family virtual assistant agency's absolute passion is helping time-poor female entrepreneurs with those ridiculously long to-do lists, because we all know how they get longer instead of shorter, so that they're able to focus on doing what they love. You're going to want to stick around if you find yourself constantly just doing this thing quickly instead of spending time with your family, or if you look at your list of tasks and feel like crying, or even if you're just simply wondering how to manage your time better and delegate to your team. We're going to be covering topics from social media to marketing, systems and processes to outsourcing and so much more, so that you can see what's possible for you and your business. So let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the Streamline and Shine podcast, and in this episode I'm giving you a peek into one of the most powerful habits that I've built into my week, and that is my Monday morning CEO routine. Now, before you picture me swanning about with a green smoothie and a £30 candle while I journal on a balcony, let me be clear, that's not me. This is a simple, practical and built for time-poor business owners like you. No fluff, no fancy, just real strategy time that sets the tone for my entire week. Now, full disclosure, I sometimes do this on a Sunday evening, but I'm still set up for the week ahead, and that doing it at a time that works for you is what's important. So why does this matter? Because when you're the one who's running the show, whether it's just you or you've got a small team, it's really easy to start your week in reaction mode. So you wake up on Monday morning, you check your inbox, you open Instagram, you remember you haven't posted, you jump into client work, and boom, by 10 a.m. you're already behind. I'm just going to breathe. And that used to be me, like literally all the time. I'd hit the ground running, but not in the right direction. So what changed everything was protecting one simple ritual, and that's my CEO time. So an hour first thing on a Monday or a Sunday evening, like I said, where I look at the business instead of being buried in it. So I kind of resisted it at first because I told myself that I didn't have time to sit and plan, that I was too busy. There was more important things to do because this wasn't urgent. But let me ask you something. So if your entire week is just responding to things, when are you actually leading your business? So just have a think about that for a second. If your entire week is just responding to things, when are you actually leading your business? So having this dedicated time each week has given me 3 massive benefits. So I've now got clear priorities, no more wondering what's important or what's coming up. I've got focus. I stopped getting derailed by shiny objects, and let me tell you, I was getting like really swamped with all the things I was downloading. And it's also given me control. Even when things got messy, I know exactly what needed to happen. Okay, so I've broken the CEO routine down into 5 parts. And you can adapt this to your style and your needs, but the core idea is to give your CEO brain some breathing space. So the first thing we do is a metrics review. So how have we performed on Instagram? How did we perform on Facebook? What was our open rate on our emails, for example? We then look at our revenue in and our outgoings. We also look at our current clients and our active projects that we've got. We look at our Instagram and email growth. So we look at ways that we can get more visible. And we also look at any new leads or inquiries that we've had come in. Now, this takes me less than 10 minutes because I'm into the swing of it now. It might take you a little bit longer at first, but it's not going to take you hours, and that's the most important thing. And it also helps me stay grounded in what's actually happening, not just what feels busy. So the second part is looking at our top 3 priorities for the week. So what are the 3 most important business moving tasks that I need to get done? Not hit reply to that email or upload that post. I mean CEO level stuff like mapping out a launch, creating a new onboarding process, or delegating something properly. Step is a project review. Okay, we use Basecamp for our project management, and I'm a Basecamp girly through and through. You won't catch me on anything else. Can't stand them. But I go in and I look, what's overdue? Normally there's not anything overdue, can I just add? What's due this week? We've always got new tasks coming up each week from our clients, so we make sure that we know what's on for this week and what needs input from me. So not what have the girls got, not is our Instagram content uploaded. This is what needs input from me, what needs me to be in there and be present in. So this is especially helpful because I've got the girls, so it stops me from becoming the bottleneck and make sure nothing slips through the cracks. The girls know where they stand with things, I know where I stand with my stuff. If they need anything, they come to me with it. So I schedule more CEO time for later in the week, and this is key. I don't just plan the week, I protect time in it. So usually I block 1 or 2 more hours for a bit of content planning, systems updates or business development. And it doesn't matter if it's 30 minutes or 3 hours. If it's not in your diary, it's not going to happen, let's face it. Now, I also use this for my own personal development. So, for example, I'm doing an OBM certification at the moment. So I will make sure I've got time mapped out in my diary so that I can do some of the modules. Because if I don't put that in my diary, I'll either forget that I've not done it, or I'll think, oh yeah, I can come back to that later. And before you know it, you're into a project where something goes wrong and you've run out of time, so you can't do it that day. And then it just keeps getting pushed back further and further in the. Another thing that we do, which is the last part, is a brain dump. So this is get rid of the clutter moment, basically. So every idea, task, worry, half thought gets dumped on a piece of paper if it's a notebook. I find personally typing it out on a Google sheet, for example, I'm more worried about making sure that Google sheet looks uniform and in the format that I want it to look like, and then I forget what I'm trying to get out of my head. So I get an old notebook and I just scribble. I write down everything that's clogging up my brain. So I then sort that into categories and then I put it into Basecamp. So I either assign it to myself or I assign it to one of the girls, and then we put the due dates and everything else on. And this little tiny habit has saved me from so much overwhelm. It's like taking a mental deep breath before the chaos kicks in. So I recently helped a client look at her CEO routine, and within 2 weeks she said that she finally feels like she's driving the business instead of being dragged by it. And that's the difference that one focused hour can make. So I want you to try it this week. Even if you start with 30 minutes, give yourself protected time to check in with your business. Make it a non-negotiable. No calls, no scrolling, just you, your numbers and your strategy. Your business deserves a leader who has space to think, and that starts with a Monday morning ritual. Quick break to tell you that if you're ready to build smarter routines and simplify your business for good, my Supreme Strategy sessions are where it all starts. In 90 minutes, we'll map out your weekly CEO time, your systems and your team plan, and whatever else you need to create more structure and space. The link's in the show notes, so book it in now and let's reset your rhythm. Okay, so the Monday morning CEO routine is my absolute anchor. It's simple, it's strategic, and it reminds me every single week that I'm building something on purpose, not just surviving the to-do list. So next week, I'm going to be sharing my favourite tools that keep our client work flowing without drowning in emails. So these tools are about besties. Until then, keep streamlining and keep shining and give your CEO brain space that it deserves. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Streamline and Shine. If you have questions on what we covered inside, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Bolton_virtual_solutions, or you can email us at teambolton@boltonvirtualsolutions.co.uk. We absolutely love hearing from our amazing community and are always here to support you. If you'd like to be interviewed on a future episode, please drop us an email letting us know which topic you'd like to speak about and we'll get back to you. See you on the next episode, lovelies.